Did you know that the biggest and smallest cells in our whole body is in the reproductive system only? Well, yes. If you think about it, the egg is the largest cell in our whole body, and the smallest cell is the sperm, which is also in the reproductive system. Hi everyone, it's me again. I'm Lena and I'm from the Healthcare Landscape Group. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my main video, which is about the reproductive system. Now, what is the reproductive system? Well, the reproductive system, if you look at the word, there's the word reproduce in there. And yes, that's just what it sounds like. It's the system where we reproduce. And it's the system where our moms give a birth to us. So that's where humans get their offsprings from. Like any other plants or animals, they all have their own reproductive system. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about four main parts: the functions, the parts, the differences between the male and female reproductive systems, and pregnancy. Along with that, I'll also add in some pictures to help you better understand what I'm saying, and as well as a fun fact too. And let's start with our first part, the parts of the reproductive system. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about two main reproductive system, the male and female. So there is a difference in the male and female, which I'm going to talk about later in our third part. Now, the female reproductive system consists of the fallopian tubes, the ovary, the vagina, the cervix, we also have the uterus, the endometrium and the myometrium, as well as the eggs. So here is a picture of the female reproductive system. As you can see, it clearly points out where the vagina is, the cervix, the myometrium, which is the thick part here, and then there's a thin layer wall called the endometrium. We also have the ovaries, which are these two little circles and ovals here. We also have the fallopian tube. Here is where the sperm and the egg unites together to make a baby. And those are the parts of the female reproductive system. Then we have the male reproductive system, which is we also have the bladder, which is part of the urinary system, the urethra, we have the testicle, epididymis, vas deferens, prostate, semicolon, vesicle. We also have the testes, the scrotum, the prostate glands, and the urethra, and some sperms, in contrast of the eggs to the female reproductive system. So those are some of the parts, only some of the parts of the female and male reproductive system. Now for the functions, the general functions of the female and male reproductive system. Now for both systems, they produce gametes, and they also transport and sustain gametes. They nurture and develop offspring. So this is for the function of the female reproductive system, which is nurture and developing the offspring within our body for females in their belly. We also have producing hormones. Remember, the reproductive system is part of the endocrine system, so they produce hormones. We also have fertilization, pregnancy, menstruation, and menopause. So pregnancy, menstruation, and menopause are all for the female reproductive system. And for both systems, we have fertilization. Now for the menopause, for the menstruation, is where the egg is transported into the walls of the reproductive system here of the female, and when the female does not have a sperm entering or does not have pregnancy, then it will have blood. The blood will come out to the other end because there's no pregnancy stopping the blood, which is called period. That's where in a period of time, blood will be released from the reproductive system of females, and that will create cramps depending on different types of bodies and different types of individuals too. Now those are all of the functions, just some of the functions of the reproductive system. Then we have the differences between the female and the male reproductive system. I have printed out a picture of the differences between the male and female reproductive system. So the first thing that comes to mind is the parts of the male and female reproductive system. They are different in the parts. For example, the female reproductive system have the ovaries, and we also have the fallopian tubes, while the male have the testes, the scrotum, and the prostate gland. So they differ in the parts. We also have the collection of the male genital organs concerned with reproduction, both internal and external structures of females which enable reproduction. The male reproductive system is designed for delivery of sperms into the female reproductive system. Then we have the female reproductive system is designed for nurturing a baby within the female's body. So the male reproductive system have most parts occur outside of the body, while the female reproductive system have every part occur inside the body. The components, I've talked about this before, the components differ drastically. The testes are the male gonads and the ovaries are the female gonads. The male urethra conducts both urine and semen, while the female urethra occurs separately from the vaginal opening. Then we also have different hormones. The male reproductive system produce testosterone, while the female produce progesterone. Males have a continuous production of hormones, while females have a cyclic production of hormones, which causes menstruation, like I explained above. The function producing of sperms and delivering sperms into the female reproductive system. But the female reproductive have a different function, which is producing the ova, receiving the sperms, facilitating fertilization, and supporting and nourishing the growing embryo. Now, the male reproductive system continuously produces gametes, while the production of gametes stops with menopause in the female reproductive system. The male reproductive system produces 1 billion sperms per month, and the female reproductive system only produces a single ovum per month. And that is the main differences between the female and the male reproductive system. Those are some of the differences between the male and female reproductive system. Moving on to our last part, the pregnancy. Now, in this part, I'm going to talk about the duration of the pregnancy, the formation of the body, and how does how does the pregnancy affect the body. Firstly, let's talk about what is pregnancy. Well, pregnancy is when a sperm enters the egg through the vaginal opening, and then it combines with the egg to make the baby. But it doesn't happen that very fast. The baby doesn't just appear from thin air. So the duration of the pregnancy is 9 months, or about 40 weeks, depending on the person. They may come out with 39 or 38 weeks. And we also have 3 stages of pregnancy, which is the first, the second, and the third trimester. Now, the first trimester is from 0 weeks to 12 weeks. Then we have the second trimester, which is from 13 weeks to 27 weeks. Then for the third trimester, we have the 28 to 40 weeks. So those are the duration of the first, second, and third trimester, the stages of pregnancy, in which each stage the embryo, which is the egg that has been fertilized, developing into a baby. The formation of the baby. Well, I've talked about the sperm and the egg unite together to create a baby in the fallopian tube, which is the tube that is in the female reproductive system here. They unite either here or here. Then we have the embryo develops the organs and the body depending on the stages. And then the last stage is the fetus continues to develop until delivery or until birth. Then for the effects on the body, well, pregnancy do have many effects, various and permanent effects on the body. For example, the skin may stretch as the belly grows, which will leave permanent scars on the body. During pregnancy, there may be dark spots in the pubis or the belly button area, but then our skin is more rosy due to the more blood circulation because there's increased blood volume to 1.5 liters to the loss of birth, so our body recovers itself. Then we also have heartburn. If females are in a pregnancy period, they may encounter heartburn, faster heartbeat and breathing rate, as well as tender and larger, heavier breasts, frequent urination, indigestion, and more vaginal discharge. Moreover, they may also have weight gain, accounts due to the placenta, the uterus, and the extra blood in the body. The mood swings, which is feeling tired from the effects of pregnancy, and aches and pain, usually in the back, the abdomen, the thighs, or the leg, and areas of the foot as well. Then there's increased blood flow, which may lead to swelling in some certain areas throughout the body. And there is constipation due to the slow breakdown of food and indigestion, which I've talked about. And those are all of the of the parts that I have to say for my video. To end this video, I want to add in one more fun fact, which is a baby girl is born with about 6 million eggs, but by the time she reaches puberty or in her teenage years, she may only have about 300,000 eggs. The number of eggs a woman has decreases with the age and each menstrual cycle, so it decreases drastically. By the time a woman is 40 or 30, the chance of an egg being fertilized is very low due to the time that she is younger, the girl is younger. This is due to the fact that the finite amount of eggs is only 6 million eggs in our body, and as time passes by, each egg gets destroyed if there's no pregnancy. And yes, that is all that I have to say for my main video this week. I hope that you can learn something from this video. Just review some of the things that you have learned. Thank you for listening to my video, and I hope to see you soon in the next video or next meeting. Goodbye. See you later.